What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, everybody? Grand evening, peace and blessings. And this is just another episode of Just a Conversation. And today, I'm riding solo, just chopping it up about the Black Panther Party. Found out today that the brother, Comrade Bobby Seale, is under the weather. Some say it's not looking good. Some say he's just in the hospital, but regardless of the fact, prayers to him and blessings to him and his family and everybody. And I just wanted to touch bases a little bit, about the Black Panther Party, Comrade Huey P. Newton, Supreme Commander, uh, Comrade Bobby Seale, co-founder, Eldridge Cleaver, Geronimo Pratt, a.k.a. Geronimo Jack Jacker, who's Minister of Defense, and all these, in California. Black Panther Party was started October 1966 in Oakland, California. And it was because that a crosswalk did not have a stop sign where it should have been a stop sign. Or it probably should have been a four-way stop, actually, because, it was a neighborhood residential area, children out playing, and a young boy was struck, a young little brother was struck and killed by a motorist. So Huey P. Newton petitioned with the neighbors in the neighborhood to City Hall and City Council, and nothing was done. I believe, nothing was done in the beginning, but till they petitioned to the point where they put stop signs at that crosswalk. Huey P. Newton, rest his soul in power, was a student in Berkeley College. He was a student of theology, I believe, political science, et cetera, et cetera. Studied Chomsky, Lenin, the proletariat authors back in the Soviet era, which would be coming from the communistic yet socialistic point of view back then. Bobby Seale, Eldridge Cleaver, they was in college also in Berkeley. It was just the fact that during that era and time, he was dealing with Vietnam War, a lot of political upheaval, definitely dealing with segregation and the coming out of segregation. You know what I'm saying? Where Caucasians still had that mentality where they can just beat up on a brother or sister and, rape them, do whatever they wanted to do, especially in the South. In the North, it was more hidden, but it was still, what it is, like it is today, the covert, behind the scenes racism. They ain't gonna throw it in your face. I'd rather for it to be in my face so I know where you're coming from. But back then in that era was a lot of political turmoil, upheaval, all type of stuff that was very bad, especially for Asiatics at that time. And not just black Asiatics, but Latino Asiatics, Asian Asiatics, etc. Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale decided to learn the U.S. law, Constitution, neighborhood political laws that the police did not adhere to when it came to the citizenry of black Americans in their area. So they came up with the 10-point platform and program for the Black Panther Party for self-defense. They found that in the Second Amendment, we as Asiatics, just as any other American, had a right to bear arms. It was just particular stipulations. You can carry a shotgun as long as it's not armed, meaning it had bullets or slugs in it. You keep the slugs in your pocket, carry it around in the open. So when they started doing this, and Huey P. Newton had the brothers and sisters carry small pocket constitutions with them, with the laws, annotated laws, and things of this nature of the state as well, state law, federal laws. So when the police pulled them over, they had law to back them up. Now we understand back in those days, you know what I'm saying, the police wasn't giving a fuck about us knowing laws. But when our people started knowing that they can openly carry their weapons and protect themselves and their neighborhoods and their children and their wives and sisters and aunties, et cetera, that's when it really became a problem to the Caucasian people. It really became a problem to law enforcement and that old cross-dresser, J. Edgar Hoover, which, you know, everybody understand the co-inter profiles, that go into, Fred Hampton and Mark Clark and them brothers and sisters that got killed in Chicago, rest in heaven. Mad salute to Fred Hampton, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. also. So we take what's going on now to what's going on then. Huey P. Newton was a staunch follower and believer of Malcolm X. Yet, he was also a part of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC. He was part of the SNCC. That was out in California also, in Berkeley College. Very radical, very, very, very intelligent, very intellectual with his speeches. You know what I'm saying? He was, Supreme Commander. Not that the brother didn't have his flaws. We human. We all have our flaws. In that era and time where you had the weathermen who were Caucasian revolutionaries, you had the Sandinistas down in Peru, who were the, Peruvian revolutionaries. You had the Young Lords up in New York, who were the Latino form of the Black Panther Party in New York. Mad salute to them because they still moving strong. And you had your Black Panther Party for self-defense that moved so swiftly across America, you know what I'm saying, because of the militancy, because of the uniformity of understanding that, look, we are a collective people and we are tired of the abuse, the racism, the economical abuse and racism, political, every facet of being a so-called American for Asiatic in America was all fucked up back then. I mean, it's probably even more fucked up right now, but we got a little airways, you know what I'm saying, to breathe more than our ancestors did back during Martin Luther King days. And mad salute to that brother and all the brothers and sisters that did the freedom marches, the freedom rides, sit-ins, and was able to sit there and literally take all the abuse from the water hoses, the batons, getting beat, pistol whipped. You know what I'm saying? They would take some of them sisters in behind the garages and stuff like that and rape them and then throw them in jail. All that type of stuff. And not to tear one of them fools' heads off, because that took a lot of strength. Strength that, I know right now in this day I ain't got, So, I remember a time, in my younger mentality where I was just coming to the understanding of the Black Liberation Army. You know what I'm saying? The Black Liberation era, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? Because by me being, born 1929, December 26, Team Capricorn, I'm understanding of that era. You know what I'm saying? That era just thrive in me. You know what I'm saying? That 60s era, 1960 to 1970. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of stuff going on And that make that warrior want to come out and be like, man, look, hey, but now it's a different era and time. So I do it with my hip hop, or I do my best to bring forth that revolution, that era, that understanding, that lesson, to where we won't fall for the same pitfalls that our ancestors fell for back then, which is what, 30, 40, 50 years ago per se. Prayers and blessings again to commander, co-founder, comrade Bobby Seale. Get well, brother. And I hope one day, you know what I'm saying, once you're well and up, back and running, that you'll, hear this and know that, brother, even though we've never met, I love you, King. You, Huey, Al Prentice Carter, George Jackson, Jonathan Jackson, Angela Davis, Asada Shakur, Afina Shakur, rest in heaven with Dr. King Mutulu Shakur, Geronimo Jai Jagger, Abu Jamal Mumaya, King Mumaya still locked down in Philly. Shout out to the Move organization out of Philadelphia. Founder John Africa on the move. You know what I'm saying? The Black Panther Party opened the door for me in studying the revolution and understanding even its pitfalls in the thinking. And the pitfalls of the thinking of a revolutionary is that you can't go around saying that we won't do this for this system or that system or this particular function. Noble Joe Ali said back in the 1920s, it takes finance to uplift a nation. And it held true then, it holds true in the 60s, and it really holds true now. The thing about today's time is that Asiatics got the finance, but they're being tricked to do something else with it. You see what I'm saying? We got billions and billions of dollars in the Asiatic communities. Whether you in Bulkhead, Bankhead, whether you in Rosedale Park here in Detroit, Indian Village in Detroit, whether you in Grosse Pointe Park here in Detroit, in the Burbs, wherever, if you are Asiatic with financial stability to the point where you can go in a Gucci store and purchase $2,000. But you probably go get a little more if you up in Louis Vuitton, Gucci, or you up at J the jeweler. That same finance can go toward feeding the homeless, getting the children some backpacks, you know what I'm saying, for their schools. Mad salute to those that do that also. Shout out Tina Bina. Shout out Kid J, King Pops, Trick Trick. And before I continue on, please let me say prayers and blessings for the King Malik Shabazz Esquire. He's a founder of the new Black Panther Party here in Detroit. Fell ill. I hope you're doing fine, brother. So back to the Black Panther Party for self-defense. They instituted martial arts within the within the party line. You had to know self-defense. Just like they took that from Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam. And the FOIs knowing martial arts, knowing self-defense, because the FOIs don't deal with guns or knives or anything. They deal with hand-to-hand combat. They feel that their hand-to-hand combat is swift enough to disarm you with your weapon or from your weapon. And hey, Them brothers and sisters was real nice with it. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the MGTs. Salute to the FOIs. But the thing about it, and my bad, the Muftis are the Moorish Science Temple of America. You know what I'm saying? They deal in self-defense also. You know, so the thing about it is they had the brothers and sisters learning in martial arts. Shit. The top echelon had Bruce Lee specifically teaching them. You know what I'm saying? And those masters will go and teach the rest of the brothers and sisters in class. And it moved on. Geronimo Jai Jagger's mother or grandmother who raised him sent him to the military. He was a Marine. That's why when he got out, he became a Panther. They made him Minister of Defense out there in California. His grandmother told him, hey, go to the white man's military, learn everything you can, and bring it back and teach your people. And that's what he did. Setting up perimeters, the brother shot down a ghetto bird. That time when they was shooting up their headquarters, they had a full-fledged shootout in Oakland. You know, really not too much history about the Black Panthers in Detroit, even though it is, and it was a little chapter. Got disbanded, I believe, kind of quickly, or it might have got overshadowed by California and Chicago. However, the fact that it takes, whether it be a life and death situation, whether it be a prison bit, whether it be a situation that just gets you to the point where you just so motherfucking fed up that you want to learn some shit, that you want to sit down and learn your motherfucking self to say, hey, how can I make history? What can I do to get in the history books like these brothers and sisters? Because once you start studying who you are, that starts with knowing your past. And in the aspect of knowing your past, that means studying your history. And here in America, as we always find out, the history has been watered down because it's been changed and switched around. So you got to dig deep to find the truth. But the elements of truth that you do find, to let you understand that as an Asiatic king or queen, then you know what you have to teach the seeds and pass down. And this is what I try to do with my hip hop. Teach what I learned. Because what happened in the 60s is happening today. It's just in a whole totally different way and formation. You know what I'm saying? They still keeping the po-po because the rich want to stay greedy and richer. But see, the thing about that is the good hearts of the good people that's still struggling, they are so blessed. Really blessed beyond. So while you in that Gucci store spending 2 racks, 5 racks, 10 racks, 3 racks, or up in that Louis Vuitton store, Liz Claiborne, Tommy Hilfiger, because we got to understand these designers don't give a fuck about nobody Asiatic. They tell you in your face, I did not make these clothes for black people or people of your color, as they say. But no, what we do, we go spend more money with them. All these Asiatic designers out here. All you got to do is go to a black college. You go find a brother or sister that's in that certain class that's trying to make that certain come up. They got that certain design that you can probably capitalize with. And then both of y'all will be rich. But nah, You rather go spend your money. What Minister Farrakhan say? With the European. And I'm not being racist or anything of this nature on that. It's your money. You made it. You can spend it how you want to spend it. But to say that you were Asiatic and so successful, you got a private jet. A private jet? Do you know what a private jet can do? Outside carrying you from city to city, a private jet can open up a hospital. A private jet can hire more doctors and nurses that really care about the people. More clinics that children can properly be taken care of by doctors and nurses and physicians who really care about their people and the future of their people. You see what I'm saying? See, the thing about this is Caucasians have been doing this for centuries. They always find a way to take care of their own. We as a people always find a way to destroy our own. And yeah, I used to be a part of that destructive epidemic, or should I say pandemic, you know what I'm saying, back in my younger days. Sent my ass to prison. Paid the price. Paid my debt. And I learned everything I could study that involved Asiatic history that I could get a hold of. Memorized it, studied it, played it around in the brain with music and bars. And now here I am, giving it to you in hip hop, underground style. No filter, no chaser, raw truth. Shout out Divine Family. Now, back to the brother Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton, Eldridge Cleaver, Al Prentice Carter. The first brother to be, I call it, assassinated. You know, also known as Little Bunchy Carter. 18 years old, or 16 years old. Youngest Panther member. Shot down in a shootout. And he didn't even come out with a gun. He just came out the house with his hands up and they still killed him. Yeah. Think about that. Police kill an unarmed black man. Youth. Shot him down. Yeah. Something we used to hearing, ain't it? The state of Black America, as the reporters call it. What is the state of Black America? Well, according to our prophet Noble Drew Ali, Black America does not exist because there is no such thing as a black person. Black is a color. It is no ethnicity of itself at all. White is a color. It has no ethnicity of itself. These people knew this, the Pilgrims, the Britons that came over from England, running from the Queen's wrath, let out the gulags and prisons, came from their original ghettos to these shores of now called America, which was actually a Mexum, which was actually a part of the Moorish Empire. Oh yeah, it's in the Constitution. It's in the amendments. That's why they don't want us to know all these things. You know, And let me say this also. These things that I'm just spoken on, I've learned because I studied the Black Panther Party, Black Liberation Era, Black Liberation Movement. Shout out to Sundayada Akolai, Black Liberation Army, you know. Stokely Carmichael, H. Rap Brown, or Stokely Carmichael, aka Kwame Ture, Pan-African leader, brought about Pan-Africanism again back to America. Tried to anyway. We ain't gonna talk about that lame Elena Karinga, or excuse me, Ronald Karinga, aka Mr. Feds, Mr. United Slaves, Mr. Work with the Man to take down the Black Panther Party. Yeah, he brought about Kwanzaa, you know, 7 principles, brought it to America. That was a beautiful thing. But the deception and the deceivery that he did and that he forced his members to play, I don't know, do it really match up? Bless you, Queen. Yeah, that's my Empress there. Love that lady there. Okay, my lips kind of dry. I couldn't get that whistle out right, but back to the program. Elena Karinga worked with the FBI and the CIA against the Black Panther Party. Okay. You had brothers and sisters work against Marcus Garvey and the Universal Negro Improvement Association back when he was trying to get the Back to Africa movement going. And the thing about it, Marcus Garvey never laid a foot or set a foot on African soil at all. He died in London. Go figure. So we could take it all the way back to how Liberia got started. Liberia got started because some Europeans or Caucasians funded 2 ships, the Back to Africa movement. The first one sent a bunch of brothers and sisters back over to the motherland. They got a plot of land and they started the city or the land of Liberia. Yeah, ancient African history. Ghana was started like that. Ghana was beautiful for a while. When, you know, President King Jerry Rawlings had ruled. I'm actually glad that, the movie or the show Snowfall, they added that in there in the storyline, because there was a lot of brothers and sisters going back to Ghana or going to Ghana, on the Back to Africa thing back in the 70s. A lot of Panthers did it, came back. Eldridge Cleaver went over there for a minute in exile when he was running. He went over to Cuba when he was in exile running. Huey went over to Cuba, chilling with Fidel and Raul Castro, the 2 brothers. Rest in heaven, Castro. Rest in heaven, Muammar Gaddafi. America always paints a bad picture of true leaders of Africa and America. J. Edgar Hoover, he was a whole bitch. Hey, that's just the truth of it. That's just the truth of it. He didn't want anything Asiatic rising up, teaching the people the truth. Tried to get as much dirt on you as he could. Turn it around, blackmail you. That's what they did to Martin Luther King Jr. Got some dirt on him. Tried to blackmail him. He had to sit down with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. 2 days later, he was assassinated. Or was it a week later? After that sit down he had with Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he was assassinated in Alabama, in April. So, not 40, 50 years later, they talk about the fraternities that move to keep the Asiatic peoples manipulated, misled, mentally enslaved to a employer-employee mentality. Only if you in that particular fraternity and or compass and square, you ain't privy to the so-called machinations of wealth in America. Yeah, the Panthers didn't go for that bullshit, and we ain't either. All the secrets is out. And what I mean by that, people, is that everything the so-called powers that be have tried to keep hidden has always surfaced. See, this is the thing. Faith within the Most High Creator and self always prevails in that positive divine energy. So no matter how long it may take, because it may not be this generation, it might be the generations three times plus past us or above us that get it and make the change. Cool. Because that was divine order and how it was supposed to be. The thing about it is, where will you fit in to lay down that passage of history to say, hey, I made a difference. Each one, reach one, teach one. Mad salute to the Black Liberation Army. We still here. Never left. Same revolution. Different faces. Youth. Understanding what the truth is. The youth understand what the truth is. The problem is they are continually misguided by the powers that be in what they see and what they listen to. We see movies all day about it. We see movies about espionage, spies, etc., etc. Look, Tom Cruise just dropped his new Mission Impossible espionage spy movie. Yeah. Come on now. Let us do something like that, though. You know. Woo. We'll get put under the Fed prison. Right. Run around with military issue weapons. Shooting up police because they trying to stop our mission. Come on now. But what they say is entertainment. The entertainment has gone to the heads of the youth in a bad way. All these video games, the music. I ain't knocking nobody music, but god damn. How many times can you say kill a nigga, hate a nigga? Fuck a bitch, fuck a hoe. It's just senseless. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, these are the things that the Panthers fought against. You know, you always respect the sisters, no matter what. Respect the children and honor them, no matter what. Respect the elders and honor them, no matter what. That's how I was raised. I'm sure a lot of y'all that's listening was raised that way. And if you wasn't, I apologize. I'm sorry. You know, a lot of things we learn in the streets. We learn a lot of bad shit in the streets. We learn a lot of good stuff in the streets. The revolution will always be and always begin with you. Because revolution only means change. It's like the last poet said. Revolution only means change. You change your drawers and socks every day. You change your clothes every day. Well, I hope you do. You know. So when you deal with the revolution within yourself and knowing thyself, then you're able to deal with the revolution that's on the outside and what you're looking at. You'll find ways to somewhat help your people or help humanity, period. You know, the revolution don't have a color. You see, or ethnicity. Because revolution is change. Comrade Fred Hampton said, you make revolution your religion. Umar Abu Jamal said the same thing. So what they mean in making it your religion, you take it and you use the elements to change self. Because that's what you're supposed to do with your religion. You're supposed to take the elements of it and change yourself to become a better person. So you take the revolution elements and you use it to yourself to become a better person. And then you go out and teach so the next brother or sister can do the same thing. And whether you known or not, somebody will be affected in a positive way by it. Just like Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale affected me to be a revolutionary hip-hop artist. Whether I'm heard worldwide or whether I'm just heard on my YouTube, some way, form, or fashion, I'm going to put that revolutionary hip-hop out there. My man Smoke Jesus go put that revolutionary hip-hop out there. That's Divine Family. And anybody that come up under the umbrella of Divine Family, we go put that real out there. That revolutionary, that socially conscious. Then we go come with some just raw hip-hop too. But the thing about it is, change your energy. Free your mind. It's a revolution, people. Y'all better get ready. Economical, societal. Woo-wee. Y'all know what's about to happen. Everybody hollering about AI this, AI that. AI been on the set with the first computer. If you want to take it that far. So, think about it, people. Once again, all prayers and blessings go out to the brother Bobby Seale and his family. Get well soon, King. All prayers and blessings go out to Attorney Malik Shabazz and his family. Peace and blessings, and get well soon, King. Damn. I'm about to sign off in my revolutionary name, Pharaoh Al Shakur. All power to the people. Peace.